Hi, I wanted to record this video about what TRE actually is and what TRE isn't, because I've noticed there's some misunderstandings out there, and particularly among what I've noticed is some people with a very large social media following, and it feels really important to say what TRE is and to be a little bit more clear about that, to maybe clear up some of these misunderstandings. I made some notes so I can make sure I sort of say everything I want to say. So, and I should say, I always feel it's a mistake for people to comment on other people's therapies without having actually experienced it with a trained professional, because it's very easy to misunderstand something when you've only had hearsay or seen something. So what is TRE? TRE is way more than just shaking. I can understand why people focus on shaking, because sometimes it can feel really blooming great and exciting to harness this ability that we've all learnt to suppress. You know, you can hear it in our language, the suppression, like get a grip, keep a stiff upper lip. It's all a language of suppression. And our body has this incredible ability to move through and release. And shaking can be a part of that. And because when people come sometimes and learn it for the first time, they get so excited about being able to do this, I can see why the focus would be all on the shaking. But it's so much more than that. It's actually about waking the body up to any organic involuntary movements that it's ready to make, that it wants to make. And TRE is also the whole safe protocol that we work with. It's so much more than shaking. It's about regulating. It's about grounding. It's about making sure someone stays in their comfort zone so that they don't go into catharsis or a lot of fear or any kind of shock or freeze. So it's actually a very gentle process. So it's not cathartic. It's not pushy. It's not about hacking our system. It's definitely not about overriding our fear. And it's not about simply discharging shock trauma or discharging a held sympathetic response. And it's definitely not dangerous, and it's definitely not re-traumatizing. If it is, then it's not being done according to this beautiful, safe protocol when we work with it. And how do I know all of this? I know all of this because my body's been shaking over 8.5 years now, and I'm also a trained and certified TRE provider. So I've worked with people with this practice over many years now, and I also know that it's actually really beautiful support for complex trauma, developmental trauma, early childhood trauma. And I know that as well personally, and I know that also from so many clients that I work with for whom this is just the most beautiful way to, or one beautiful way to reconnect to themselves and to heal. So what is TRE? It's gentle. It should be gentle. It should be slow and regulated. If you've got a lot of trauma, it should involve co-regulation with the person who's teaching you, an attunement with that person so that you feel really, really safe in your body at all times. If you're not feeling safe, then the instruction is always stop, slow things down, and we regulate. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes emotions come. Effectively, we're waking up the body, and the body wants to release held tension. And tension can be the residue of shock traumas. It can be a lifetime of tension that's built up from very early shocks that might have happened and developmental trauma. So we're inviting the body in a gentle way to begin to release some of that tension. And sometimes underneath the physical tension, there are emotions that come. But mostly we're working with the body simply releasing tension. It's a sort of neurophysiological process. And very, very commonly, people's minds are calm because the shakes are all talking to the brain stem mainly. And, oh, sorry, that's my cuckoo clock. Just let that do its thing. Oh, good news, it was only 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So I've lost my thread now, but let me get back to my thread. So yeah, we're helping the body release some of what it's held, but really in this safe container. And many people, yes, they feel calm mentally and calm emotionally while that process is happening. Quite often it can feel really blissful and deeply liberating and relaxing to actually say, okay, body, you can let go now. And what else is TRE? It's actually polyvagal theory, this science of human safety in action. It's helping our nervous system go, okay, yeah, I can move through this. I can come home to rest and digest. And there are many that happens straight away at the first session. For those with childhood or developmental trauma, we work very slowly and gently. TRE is also education and embracing of our nervous systems and bodies and learning not to be afraid of what our bodies can do. And the beauty of it is also it's so affordable. Once you've learnt it and if you feel comfortable and safe, you can be doing it at home, which is fantastic support to any therapeutic journey because, as I know, it can become incredibly expensive. So, and of course, it might not be for everyone, you know, and there's some clients who come and I talk to them about early childhood, I get a feel for things, and I just know we're not going to do much shaking, if any. We're going to maybe just regulate, and sometimes they might do 30 seconds or a minute of shaking. So it's really important that we learn in this safe context. And I know people learn it from YouTube and they do it from the book, but David Baselli was really clear about this. If you've got a trauma background, you need to learn with a trained professional and not someone who's maybe just learned it themselves on a day and they're a therapist already, but actually a certified TRE provider who's certified with TRE for all, because then they've got the whole trauma training, the safe protocol that they're working with. So, and all the TRE providers have different ranges of qualifications. Some are somatic experiencing providers, some are trauma psychotherapists. I'm also a breathwork practitioner. So we can choose the right person to work with. This is a beautiful practice if it's done safely and with the right person leading you and teaching you. And if you want to find that right person, you can go to traumaprevention.com and there's TRE providers all over the world and you can connect with somebody who might be the right person for you. So I hope that's cleared up some of the misunderstandings, and I'm happy to answer any other questions if they arise. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. Thank you.